Hi students, how are you? This is Sunday, the last day of week 4, and two topics I want to cover. The first is a little bit of a review of the memo writing assignment, and then sort of a summary of what I feel are the salient points and observations of the discussion board week 4 on adjunct and part-time faculty. Forgive me, this may take a little longer. The memo assignment, I put you in 4 groups, and because you don't know what group, other than your own group, you don't know what the assignments were, but briefly, group 1 was, the directive was to require all faculty to take their on-ground courses and put them in the online environment. Group 2 was, again, this is all from the Faculty Senate perspective, very real-life experiences, and I personally have been involved in all of these at some point or another in my career. Again, Group 2 was Faculty Senate concerned over the direction of the college, declining enrollments, tuition hikes, suspension of programs, reduction of faculty staff, and the ones who had that had to advise the president of what steps they might take. And Group 3 had to do with a climate of what's known as non-cooperation on campus, a collective bargaining dispute over the failed agreement to reach a new contract, and they're in a situation called work to rule, which is a sort of a tactic of doing the minimum of cooperation. At the same time that the accrediting agencies association is coming to do a comprehensive visit, so the writers had to advise the president on from the Senate's perspective on what they should do. And Group 4 had to do with a popular adjunct faculty member who was outspoken in his opposition to the treatment of adjunct faculty is in danger of being penalized for his outspokenness. And here the Senate was asked to advise the president on what they should do about that. So these were really fun to read. I have to say, I liked the group interactions, and the group posts, and I count these things, were from 12 to 19. The most interactive group was Group 1, but you're not getting graded for that. I mean, all the posts were good. I just thought that many of the people in that group had a lot to ask of each other. And again, the assignment was you could talk to each other about how to approach this, but everyone was supposed to do their own work. So the work went very well. I didn't think this was a particularly difficult assignment, but if you haven't directly worked in higher ed, I can see where it might be. So, when you were graded on the format, content, and writing, I enjoyed these pieces. I particularly enjoyed the group interactions. And I guess I'm going to make a confession now. This was an experiment on my part. I had no idea how it was going to go. I'm trying to make the course much more interactive, and I don't know if this succeeded or not. So if you care to send me an email about that or put something in the water cooler, that's fine, pro or con. If you're uneasy about doing that because the course is not over yet, you get an opportunity at the end of the course to fill out a student course evaluation and make comments on it. And I don't see that till many weeks after the course. I'll already be teaching the next section by then. Okay? But thank you. I like the way you grasped this, the way you worked with the materials, the use of the citations, and your helpfulness to each other, which is really quite nice on these very real world scenarios. Okay, next I'm turning to the discussion board in week 4, and I want to just say one word: wow. The post on adjunct and part-time lecturers, part-time staff, contingent faculty, you choose your title, were terrific. Many of you have very real-life experiences there. Some of you taught about excellent examples of adjunct teaching, some not so good, but pro and con with the full-time as well. Just one example I want to point out, which I thought was salient, that was Rosemary, who talked about her experience studying music at Berkeley. And when you think about it, in any of the fine arts, they're not going to have a class of 40 people if there's only one person studying oboe or opera or whatever, and so they have to use adjuncts for that purpose. And the same also on large universities. So I think another selling point, which I really liked, I think it was Chris who brought this up, and that is the real issue. He's not the only one who brought it up, but the real issue is from the student's perspective. What about the quality of the education? How are the adjunct faculty evaluated? How are they incorporated into the learning, teaching environment of the institutions? Um, so in general, and the big issues remain that of credentialing, longevity, mentoring, access to faculty development, and of course compensation. But compensation is not the only one. And many of you enriched your post with comments from the citations and your own experiences, and I really like that. I have to say, maybe it's because week 4 and we're at the crescendo of the material, but you've done an excellent, excellent job of handling this very complex issue in the post this week. Okay, so 2 weeks to go, and many of you are working on your final papers. You can't start too early. I answered some questions about that in the water cooler. If you have other questions of a general nature, use the water cooler. If not, you may email me directly. Okay? So congratulations getting to week 4. It's been very exciting. I know it's been a lot of work. I have spent a lot of time grading this week, which is my job. And if you have questions about my comments on your memos or my comments to your discussion board posts, please get back to me. Okay? Have a great week. I'll tune in again soon. Bye.